Up next, I'll take a look at the newest mobile gimbal from ZHIYUN, the Smooth 5S AI. So I am no stranger to gimbals. At the day job, we have a DJI RS3 Mini. And I own two personally myself, and they both happen to be from ZHIYUN, and that is the Smooth Q2, which I still have and I still use on occasion, and the Weebill S from ZHIYUN, which I use with my mirrorless cameras. And they both work great, and they're really good at getting really stable shots when you're on the move. But today we're going to take a look at the latest mobile gimbal from ZHIYUN, the Smooth 5S with AI. And I'd like to thank ZHIYUN for sending this out for review. And I'm looking forward to opening this up and using it. So let's actually jump right into it and start with the unboxing. And ZHIYUN has three flavors of the Smooth 5S AI. They have the standard version, the combo version, and the pro version, which we're opening up. Really, actually nice, well-made case. Kind of hidden zipper so you won't scratch anything up. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at what comes inside. And let's see, they give you a ZHIYUN Prime 1-year membership. And I believe this covers, their app has a subscription for some of the more advanced features, and this will cover you for a year. Here is the gimbal itself. It's actually a lot lighter than I thought it would be, looking at the size, because the last mobile gimbal I had from ZHIYUN was this one, and this is the Smooth Q2. I really like the compact size of this, and it's worked pretty well at the times that I've used it. So yeah, this feels a lot lighter. Construction seems pretty well built, but we'll take a closer look at this. Let's go ahead and unpack everything first. You get a USB-C cable. And this looks like the AI module. And there you can see there it says ZHIYUN AI. New module. That gives it the AI capabilities. And this looks like a light. So the gimbal comes with a light, a fill light. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it right here. A fill light built into the gimbal, which is great, but they also give you an extra fill light if you want to put one off to the side. And what's cool is these attach to the gimbal magnetically. So they give you a light. And this looks like the tripod. So yep, this is the tripod. So you can put this underneath the gimbal, like this. Then the tripod so that you can have the gimbal sit on the desk with you like that. And yeah, let's go ahead and go back to this light. Take it out of the plastic. So yeah, it looks like it comes with magnetically attached gels, so you can have different color lights. Looks like they have red, kind of like a warm white, yellow, blue, and orange. So different color gels. Cool light. And in the sleeves, there is your service card. This is a lanyard, looks like. So this is everything you get with the Pro Pack. You get a cool carrying case. Service card, you get your year membership of ZHIYUN Prime, USB-C cord, lanyard, AI module, light, and gels, 4 gels for the light, along with the tripod and the gimbal itself. So that's everything that comes in the Pro package. So the first step in using any gimbal is to balance it. And we balance it so that the motors of the gimbal don't work so hard when trying to hold and stabilize the device that it's carrying, be it a camera or, in this case, a smartphone. So in order to balance, first we need to unlock all the axes. So first there is a lock button here that we need to hit unlock there. And as you can see now, it's freely moving. A couple of the arms here, you just have to pull them apart. And one last one here and there. Now you can see all the axes are moving freely. And as you can see, it's not stabilized. We haven't even put the phone on there yet. And then this one, so it depends on how you're gonna use it. So I mostly shoot landscape. I don't shoot a whole lot of portrait. But right now, in its default state, it is in portrait mode. So if you put your phone there, you can see that it's gonna be in portrait. So we need to turn this so that the name ZHIYUN is facing straight, or so that you can read it like that. You can see ZHIYUN there, and it reads right. So now we place our phone there. Now you want to place your phone with the cameras opposite this motor here when you put it in here. So motor, cameras goes on the opposite end. Like that, and it fits the iPhone 15 Pro Max, no problems. And you can see it's not balanced. So the first thing you want to do is balance this axis. So you have to unlock this knob here and then move the phone. So it's going this way, so we want to actually move it this way until it achieves balance. So that's actually looking pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. Now we want to balance this, because as you can see, the phone is flopping around there. So it's heavier on this side. So what we can do is we can actually move the whole thing over this way until the phone is kind of, so that's pretty close. So now that the phone is balanced on the gimbal, we can go ahead and power it on. And we'll do that by pressing the power button on the side. Hold it down. And then, as you can see, the gimbal is powered up. And right now it is in the default mode PF, as shown by the indicator on the front. And you can see all the modes here. The first one is pan follow. And what pan follow does is it will keep your phone level wherever you're pointing it, but it will follow how you pan. So movements left to right, as you can see, the phone is following those movements left to right. And it'll give you a nice smooth pan with that movement, but it'll keep your phone level. So you just have to worry about panning and pointing at what you're filming. The next mode here, if we click it again, is the L, and that is locked. So as you can see, since it's locked in this position because that's when I enabled it. So I can move this, however, it's just going to stay pointed in that direction. So what we can do to return to 0 is there's a trigger in the back, just double click it and it'll return and reset to 0. So now as you can see, again, no matter how I turn the gimbal, the camera or the phone is locked in place. It's locked on whatever area that it was focused on when I enabled the mode. And even when I turn it this way, you can see it stays that way. But then again, you can also, if you wanted to move it this way, I want to look here, but it's still looking there, double click the back button trigger and it'll return it to 0. So that's how you can switch what you're viewing when you're on the lock mode. So the next mode, after you hit mode, is the F, and that's the follow mode. So the follow mode will follow. Let me return it to 0. It'll follow wherever you point it at. So as you can see, the tilt's working as it's pointing up. It points down. Also, the pan works as well. So it'll follow wherever your focus is, or wherever you're viewing, or wherever you're pointing the camera at, and give you those smooth transitions. So yeah, follow mode is a great mode if you're doing a lot of sightseeing and you want to capture like everything in your view. And after follow mode, the next mode we have is point of view, pretty much same thing. But with point of view, you can also, if you want to do kind of like Dutch angles, you can do that as well. So you can see the camera's angled that way. If you do this in any other mode, it'll think you're trying to switch to portrait. So point of view, POV, follow mode, except now you can control the angle of the camera like that. And the next mode, again, is going to be that vortex mode. And with vortex mode, you can see how the camera now is in almost like a flashlight position. So you hold it out this way, and you can use the joystick to twirl the phone around. And this will give you some cool effects. Probably not for everyone, but if you're trying to do one of those high-paced, quick transition videos, this is a good mode to have it in. So that is the vortex mode. And let's go one more, return to pan follow. And then there's also, if you hold the trigger down, they call this like the high sport mode. So you can, it just follows. You're not worried about getting those smooth kind of movements. You're just worried about getting your shot, getting whatever's in frame. It's gonna pretty much follow you quickly, and that's how you lock it down with the trigger in the back. When you release it, it goes back to the pan follow mode or whatever mode you have on your screen. So those are all the gimbal modes for the Smooth 5S AI. And quite honestly, those are pretty basic. Most gimbals have all those modes or a subset of those modes. So in order to use the Smooth 5S AI, you're going to need to at least download the ZHIYUN app. And again, the ZHIYUN app is more of a beginner app. It has all the functions. It has tracking as well. But you're going to also need that app because it'll allow you to do firmware updates through the app. If you want something that's maybe leaning a little more towards, say, like the Blackmagic camera app, then the Steadicam app is probably what you're looking for. So as you can see, I have both of the apps on there, ZHIYUN on the left and Steadicam on the right. Let's go ahead and open up the ZHIYUN app. So you can go through here and you can set, say, your resolution as well as your frames per second there. Get the menu, and the menu will put all menus out. So a good back button is the menu button too if you find yourself in a setting. And this is to go through the cameras manually. You can slide through, it's on the bottom. And you have this jog dial. You can use it to zoom out or zoom in, and that'll give you pretty good control. So also you can, I wanted to track my hand, I can hit the trigger button on the back. I'm gonna hit the trigger button on the back, and you'll see this box. You'll see the box with the green X. If you hit the green X, that'll remove tracking. But as you can see, as I move my hand, it will track where my hand is. So that's how you enable tracking. You can track people's faces. You could do that through here if you're filming someone. But again, if you are alone, you can, and you're pointing the camera towards you, you can just go ahead and single click the trigger button and it'll find your face and track you. So again, that's pretty neat. And that is tracking through the app. Press the trigger again, it's gone. That's where the big red button obviously is where you hit record, or you can use the gimbal, the button here, and it'll record there as well. Then you have other settings here. The hand, you have hand gestures. So if you wanted to control it, say you're on the other side of the camera, you can tell it to, with the certain hand gesture, you can tell it to shoot, to track and shoot, or just to follow you. So here is the directions for gesture control. You can use a peace sign if you want to trigger shooting or tracking, scissor hand gesture, or to stop shooting, just hold up your hand like to stop gesture and that'll stop shooting. So those are some gesture controls with the app, which are good to note for later on when we go through the real prize, I think, of this whole setup, which is the AI module. So in the lower left, you also have a menu here, and there's a shoot menu, flashlight, microphone, grid, white balance, smart shooting, HDR shooting, selfie, follow. Then you have some gimbal modes you can run through as well, if you like. You can also invert the pan control. So say if you move this one way, but that's not how you want it to get that direction to go when you're moving the thumbstick. You can invert it so that it will go in the opposite direction. I actually like that inverted pan control, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's see. So me pressing up on the thumbstick, I was thinking that it would face down. So, you know, I'm gonna invert that too. So now it behaves how I expect it to. And let's go ahead and go to general. And these are general settings. Gives you gimbal info and everything else. So hit that menu button to escape that. So let's go ahead and go into the Steadicam app. Open up the Steadicam app. And so the Steadicam app is, again, pretty much just like the ZHIYUN Cami app, but more. So here is the Steadicam app. And as you can see, there's more. You have levels here. You can have on the lower right, you can have different LUTs. You can have grid lines. Although anytime you see that kind of logo there with the P, that means that's part of ZHIYUN Prime. So that's a function that you're going to pay for a year. They give you a full year of it with this kit, but just knowing that's going to be an ongoing subscription part of the app if you want to use the Steadicam app. Now, I have personal feelings about subscriptions to apps. I avoid them when I can, but for this app, and this is just me personally, you spend so much on the gimbal itself, the app and the function should come complementary with the gimbal. That price should have been baked into the gimbal. Just know that there are some functions in here that you're gonna have to pay for. Again, there's a LUTs. And on the bottom, you can pick, you know, everything from white balance to your resolution to shutter speed, ISO. And then you have the gear icon up in the upper right. Then you can go through your different settings if you want, format, or you can add input devices or different things. And then yourself, these are your account details. So those are the basic functions of both apps. There are a lot more settings and features that you can discover on your own if you pick this up. I'm just giving you the very top layer. One thing to note, if you want to track via the app, as far as subject tracking, you do need to use the ZHIYUN Cami app. Steadicam doesn't have tracking, I believe. And that brings me to the second point, and probably the biggest part of this setup, and why the ZHIYUN is the Smooth 5S AI, and that is the AI module. So the AI module, which I have here, this is cool. This is very cool. And if you happen to own one of these, it is about the same size as the fill light. Maybe a little larger, not by much. And these both attach magnetically. But this AI module, this is where the magic happens, because what this is going to allow you to do is to use the native camera app and be able to track with the native camera app. It will also allow you to track really with the gimbal itself, with any camera app you want to use. And let's take a closer look at the ZHIYUN AI module. Really small piece of kit. On the front you have, I believe that's a camera, I'm not sure. You have a LED light, and you have a reset button on the back. So if after a while it hasn't detected any gestures, it'll go in low power mode. You just hit that reset button and it'll bring it right back up. And then you have the two magnets on the bottom to magnetically attach this to the gimbal. And I'm gonna attach it right now to the top. And kind of just to balance things out, because now I've added weight on the top, I'm gonna add the fill light on the bottom. So that should evenly distribute the weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and point this towards myself. So now I'm using Blackmagic camera on the iPhone, which doesn't have official support for the Smooth 5S AI. I have the AI module on top. You can see there is a red LED. So that'll give you your status of what the AI module is doing. So if I want the gimbal to track me, and remember, this is not an app that is officially supported by ZHIYUN, it's the Blackmagic camera app, or again, it could be the native iPhone app. But I want to enable tracking in the gimbal, not in an app. All I have to do is a few simple hand gestures. So to get it to start tracking me, I do the OK sign. Let me see if I can get that. There it is. To lift it up a little so it could see me. And now the green light means it is now actively tracking me. So wherever I move, it's tracking me. This is the Blackmagic camera app. Probably the favorite iPhone camera video taking app for everyone, at least that I know of. I know it's my favorite app. But now I can move around, can even stand up if I wanted to, and you can see it's tracking me. And it will recognize the gestures from between 9 and 10 feet away. So up to 9 feet, a little bit over, almost 10 feet away, it'll recognize those gestures. And as you can see, it's still tracking me. Now that's pretty cool that I can use a camera app, whatever camera I want to use, and I can use this with any camera app to have it track me. But the one thing specifically, if I wanted to start recording, there's another gesture, and that's pretty much the peace sign. And you can see the blue light blink. So the blue light means it's starting to recording. So now it's recording me. So it's tracking me and recording me in the Blackmagic camera app. And to get it to stop recording, I can do the peace sign again, and then the blue light flashing, the LED flashing tells me that it's taken that command. And peace sign is kind of like to have it after 3 seconds, it'll start filming. But if you want it to start shooting right away, there's another gesture, and it's pretty much like the double shaka. And that'll start recording. That means as soon as you do that and it sees it, it's recording. The peace sign gesture was more or less 3 seconds, it'll start recording. Then when you do it again, 3 seconds, it'll stop recording. And like the double shaka, we'll have it start recording and stop recording immediately. Oh, if you want it to stop tracking you, you just say stop. Hold up a hand, and now as you can see, it stopped tracking me. It's not moving or watching me. So the other gesture was kind of like a film thing, and that can, I believe that, you know, it'll track, but you're not necessarily always going to be in the center of the frame as you would with the other gesture, which was the OK sign. So that one's tracking me, not necessarily keeping me in the center, but keeping the subject within the frame. And again, the stop, just have to stop, hold up a stop hand, and it'll stop. So it stops tracking me. So again, to me, that's mind blowing, because that has been one of the kind of not really gripes, but one of the things I was disappointed in with gimbals is if you really wanted the gimbal to use the tracking, you had to use the native app. The AI module allows you to use whatever app you want to, be it the native iPhone app or the Blackmagic camera app. That's the most important one in my head. You can even use the new Final Cut camera app. You just can't have it start and stop filming. You can have it track you. The AI module let it track you, but since those apps don't use the volume controls for shutter, you cannot use that to start and stop filming. So for apps that do not use the volume buttons as the shutter button, what you could do is you could set up the gimbal, hit record, then go behind the lens or behind the camera and do the gesture so it can start tracking you. Then you can have it stop tracking you with the gesture and then go back and turn off recording. Not really as nice and automatic as using the gesture for tracking and start and stopping filming, but it works. You can make it work. To be able to have that AI tracking in the gimbal, built into the gimbal, not into the app itself, that to me is a game changer. That's going to encourage me to use the gimbal more in places where I might not think about using it. And that, coupled along with all the advances for video in the new iPhone 15 Pros, like the ProRes log and all the other functions they added, that's really going to, again, be a game changer. I don't think I can say that enough. This mobile gimbal is a game changer. And I'm really glad that I held out and didn't pick up a new mobile gimbal because I think this is the exact gimbal I was looking for, and more than likely the exact mobile gimbal for your smartphone that you're looking for. So an additional note for you current Smooth 5S owners, and maybe you're thinking this, but I was thinking this, although I didn't own a Smooth 5S, is can you buy this AI module separately and bring AI tracking to your Smooth 5S? So I reached out to ZHIYUN and the representative told me, unfortunately, the AI module is only compatible with the new Smooth 5S AI. So there are other connections in the gimbal itself that make the AI module possible. So unfortunately, you cannot retrofit to an older Smooth 5S and have it become a Smooth 5S AI. At least that's what they told me. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you a current Smooth 5S owner? Is the Smooth 5S AI enough to entice you to upgrade just because of this tiny AI module? Or are you looking for a new mobile gimbal, and is this now on your shopping list? Again, I want to hear you in the comments below. So if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, tap the bell to get notified when I post new content. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate it. So until the next one, please take care and be safe out there.